company that do gardening, but in 1885, Mr. Ashbel Merrill Leonard started a hobby nursery in the backyard of his home in Putnam, Ohio. And in 1912, he finalized he finalized with his sons the A.M. Leonard and Sons Company. And many of us order things from A.M. Leonard. It's been around for a long time. In 1964, they partnered up with Howard Kyle, whose family then owned the Spring Hill Nursery, which is Kyle brought to the business mail order. They had mail ordered for many years, and A.M. Leonard had never done any mail order. So by bringing him in, it opened up a whole new world for them. The company is still run by the grandson of Howard Kyle today in Pickway. They still have a show. You can walk in. They have a storefront. They have a 100,000 square foot wholesale distribution center, and they carry over 7,000 products now. So they got a little bit of everything. And most of us who ordered it know that they also, what they have done is started developing their own line of tools, which is what one of these that we have before us today is. They specify their own, specifications for their tools and have them with their name on them in their nifty little orange color that you'll see. And this is an example of that. What this is our little garden scoop. Now, let me tell you, we'll talk about this in part 4, but one of the mistakes that I made in building my vegetable garden is I did not leave sufficient room between my raised beds to deal with some of these items. So when you do, when we get to container gardening, be sure that you leave yourself enough room to work. Okay. Now this little device is built for them for different specifications. It has a 400-pound weight capacity.
And here it comes.
You can handle it, big guy. It has an adjustable seat on it.
This thing adjusts really easily.
Yeah, there you go.
It
does not have a motor. This is true now.
Well, you're the motor.
Yeah.
Set this thing for the paint that you want for your hips, and also work in beds. And all you do is just kind of move along, and you can stop yourself with your heel. You got a rack here for your bucket. You can put a harvest basket or whatever, and you got a tool tray underneath. And the other nice thing about it is you got a handle when you want to stand up that you can push up off of. And it is heavy duty. I'm a big guy, and I can sit on this thing, rock back and forth, and I feel totally comfortable with it. It's got run flat tires on it, and they're going to stick with you. And it's one of those things too that if you got a little garden tractor, you can put this on a little hitch, and you can drag stuff along behind you and get to wherever you're going to be working and get off and work with it. And you can move yourself up to different heights. If you have something that you need to sit down and work at a high bench, you can screw the seat up and then just get something to put your feet on when you're working, and you can work different heights. A small bucket or something like that, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I assume since it's A.M. Leonard, you would easily get parts if you needed them.
Yeah. Well, they don't manufacture it. They have it manufactured to their specifications. Because when I got in touch with their marketing director, when it came in, I'll be honest with you, when it came in, the box said made in China. And I was like, I'm not going to beat up on them or not beat up on them. And he said, look at the item. It was built to our specifications. And I think that's what you're starting to see with more of these products. Yes, they're going to be manufactured over there, but they're being manufactured in a facility that the specifications are being done by the person who's going to sell it. Now, most of the other ones of these, when I did the research on them, we all know that one of the biggest problems you have with these little tires, when you start running through the dirt, they get where they don't want to hold air. And that's just a product of the kind of tire it is. This is the only one that's on the market right now that has a flat free tire. And They actually just got this in, well, I've probably had it 3 months. So it's probably been available to them for about 4 months. So it's always been available. Keith uses one, he said Roseanne uses one in the garden between their raised beds to work their tomatoes.
No, not hard to steer it up.
So there's a tubeless tire, it's a solid or what?
It's run flat,
Which means it can
which
be a hole, but
it's
won't
hollow.
steer.
Well, it actually doesn't hold air, but it's hollow and a real heavy, thick material in there that stands up. And these things work really well. And you can ride them, I mean, if you've got a task that you're working, like either side, let's say you got grapevines, and you can sit on this thing and work either side. You know, you don't have to sit side on it, which is one of the neat things about this car. And it's-
And you know, it's not, you say, well, not everybody, I can't stand, that's the reason I brought you, I'm not gonna stand up for 2 hours and stuff, that just makes your back hurt. So it's
Yeah.
looking at it from the standpoint of needing somewhere to sit down to do the task that, or you don't have to bend over.
That's one of the things, my dad was in the military, and he used to do it for a long time, and he said, you know, you're taught that whenever you have the opportunity to sit down, you sit down, you know, and rest, because you might not have that opportunity for the next 3 or 4 days. So, when you work, there's no reason that you can't get out there and sit down. It takes pressure off your spine, takes pressure off your knees and off your hips. And one of the neat things about this one, and I know when I'm driving and riding, just a little bit of differential in where my thighs are in elevation and setting my hips will make a difference to whether I'm comfortable riding or not. And with this one, you can take this thing up. It's about an 1/8 to a 3/16 inch to a turn on this seat. So you can just move it up or down, and sometimes all it takes is a 1/4 of an inch to relieve that pressure on your hip joints. And that's something that this one will do.
And know that they have, A.M. Leonard has been very generous in this presentation. There'll be something, I think, in all 4 of them.
And if something breaks on that,
They
that's
will
an
fix it.
easy thing to take to the local welding shop. It's heavy duty 3/4 inch steel tubing. It's all welded construction, so if a weld were to crack or something, you can take it to the welding shop for $10. They can have it back up and go. Not have to fool with the warranty on it.
Well, yeah, that's probably true.
Have
And
you tried
other
weeding? Have you tried weeding with it?
I haven't because it's been too cold. Well, you know, I don't like the weed. And that's I'm gonna tell you, y'all, know that I'm a virtual dirt digger for 80 years. I didn't go down there, I just did the computer work for them. I decided to show up, start actually being a real dirt digger. What's the first thing they did the first time I met them? Weed abated. And I'm like,
We've been waiting for it.
so then they are way around this, and in part 3, we're gonna talk about a way around weedy beds. Talk about that, but no, I haven't. I'll be honest with you, Debbie, I've tried some of the products out. I played with them in the basement, but this has become an all-consuming thing. And so I'm still asking people for stuff today. So. But yeah, Hody wanted to get me one of these, and I didn't leave enough space between my beds for it to roll in the vegetable garden. Now, in the regular garden, but I do my best to take care of my weeds another way besides hand tillage. But notice that there's a little smiley face. Their discount goes for, I don't know, 6, 8 months, long time. So, and it's for anything on their website. It doesn't have to be for this particular item. Realize that, but the ones like A.M. Leonard that sell many different things, you can use your discount for anything that they sell. Right?
Sean,
Yes.
real quick, what's the width on that? Like, if you did get it for, you know, between your raised beds, what amount of space should you need properly?
That would be, I'd have to answer later. Please.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
It'll go through a 24-inch space before.
24?
And the little basket on the back comes off if you don't want to carry it, but it will hold a 5-gallon bucket.